Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, तो आप लोग बोलिए हरे हरे, हरे राम, हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण, कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे, हरे राम, राम राम, हरे हरे. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav, Radhe. Jaya Panchatattva, 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 Jaya Panchatattva. Jaya Narsimhadev, 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 Jaya Narsimhadev. Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Anitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Hari Nam Sankirtan ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Jai Nitai Gopremanande. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So I would now like to request His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj to kindly come and take his place on the dais and begin today's katha. Thank you.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnantimidandasya Jnananjanachalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Chowpatty Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajataham Sahakana Raghunatham Vidham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahakana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Scha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostete Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Astyatya Deshatharine. Hare Krishna. Is anyone able to hear? I offer my sincere obeisances to all of the assembled devotees. in the holy month of Kartik, in the supreme spiritual abode of Sri Mayapur Dham, on the holy day of Govardhan Puja, we have come together. Together, let us offer our sincerest gratitude to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, our beloved founder Acharya, and to all of the exalted beloved Acharyas of our Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Parampara. The story of Govardhan Puja, as it is spoken in Srimad Bhagavatam, Hare Krishna. One of the most inspiring and loved pastimes in all the history of creation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead took place not in a peaceful, quiet day where everything was going according to our wishes. It was spoken at a time of an inconceivable, inundating storm of destruction. We have seen earthquakes and hurricanes and tornadoes. We've seen powerful rulers attacking our countries. But imagine what was happening in Vrindavan. Indra, who has the most powerful weapon among all the demigods, the thunderbolt, with his forces and the clouds of destruction, attacked the village of Vrindavan. It was then that the Brijavasis, in utter helplessness, turned to Krishna. Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill and invited all the Brijavasis to come under the hill to be with him. The residents of Vrindavan, their deepest desires for 7 days were fulfilled. 24 hours a day, every devotee was personally in the presence of Krishna. In today's world, there are many storms, obstacles, afflictions. There's no need to even begin to explain the various troubles internally in their minds, diseases of the body, Adhyatmika, Adidaivaka, through the natural calamities, and Adibhautaka, the miseries caused by others. As Kali Yuga progresses, we can expect that these hardships will increase. If we think that by becoming devotees of the Lord, the whole world will be a nice place, that is not an appropriate understanding. When we seek shelter of Krishna in the difficulties of Kali Yuga, then our perception becomes a beautiful place. Wherever Krishna is remembered with sincere devotion, Krishna is present in that heart. Taking shelter of Krishna is not determined by circumstances, but rather the sincerity of our free will. When Krishna was smiling upon all the Brajavasis with his loving glance, each devotee could feel Krishna personally and completely reciprocating with him or her. All the cowherd boys and cowherd girls, cowherd men and cowherd women, the cows, the calves, the peacocks, the birds, the vegetation, the deers, everyone. No one was excluded. In whatever species of life the soul happened to be residing, they could feel Krishna's personal love and mercy. And they could feel Krishna personally accepting their devotion. A supreme festival of spiritual affection. But meanwhile, outside of the umbrella of Govardhan Hill, the storms were getting worse and worse. It's not that Krishna lifted Giriraj and everything became nice outside. Krishna lifted Giriraj to give shelter. But during those 7 days, as each devotee was feeling an ever-increasing loving reciprocation with Giridhari Krishna, Indra and his army of clouds and his thunderbolts and tornado winds, they were ever increasingly getting worse, more powerful. So we are coming to take shelter of Krishna. And if we're seeking our happiness in that shelter, nothing could disturb our happiness. But the world around us in Kali Yuga, it is predicted and we can expect that it gets worse and worse. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come. He is Krishna himself to give shelter to everyone and anyone who is willing to accept it. But we require to follow in the footsteps of those great devotees like the Brijavasis. They didn't just run under Govardhan Hill for relief. Each and every one of the devotees of Vrindavan, they came in a mood of complete surrender. And they came ultimately to please Krishna. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Vrindavan, he remained for 2 months. During that time, he visited Govardhan Hill. His first darshan of Giriraj. He offered his dandavat, prostrated obeisances, again and again. And the first stone of Govardhan Hill that he saw, he embraced. He was seeing Govardhan Hill as the body of Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna in the Mahabhav, the devotion of Srimati Radharani, was embracing the body of Krishna in the form of a stone of Govardhan. He cried. He recited that beautiful verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, which our acharyas proclaim to be the very words of Sri Radharani, glorifying Govardhan as Haridas Bharya, the best of all devotees. Because he gives green grasses for cows, beautiful playground with crystal clear waters for the cowherd boys and the gopis. Because he's giving pleasure to all of the devotees. He's most dear to Krishna and is the greatest devotee. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, following in the footsteps of Sri Madhavendra Puri, and Krishna and the Brijavasis, he did the parikrama of Govardhan Hill. When Lord Chaitanya was living in Jagannath Puri, a great sannyasi of the name Shankarananda Saraswati came from Vrindavan and offered to Lord Chaitanya 2 gifts: a Govardhan Shila, a stone from Govardhan Hill, and a Gunjamala. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the Govardhan Shila as Krishna's very eternal, transcendental form. And the Gunjamala is none different than Govardhan. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada in that area, preparing to take Lord Chaitanya's message to the whole world, he chanted 1 billion names of Krishna. At that time, the area was just a jungle with some paddy fields. He was practically alone. For almost 10 years, he was constantly chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. To fulfill the very purpose that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Sri Mayapur Dham to fulfill. Later, when he developed the Chaitanya Mat at Govardhan of Navadvip, he installed deities of Gandharvika Giridhari, Krishna the lifter of Govardhan. During Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, for 1 year, the Lord performed kirtan all night, every night. It is described. If someone were to give us that instruction, it's not that you could take rest during the day. We chant all day and we chant all night. Devotees had such a higher taste and they were given such a blessing by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that they rejoiced. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur and Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes the kirtans. They were held at Srivas Angam, the home of Srivas Thakur, and Chandrasekhar Bhavan, the Govardhan of Navadvip, the home of Chandrasekhar Acharya. At the end of Dwapar Yuga, during Krishna's avatar, on the reigns of Indra. So for so many generations, our family every year is offering this puja to Indra. The idea is recognizing and reciprocating by offering in exchange. Srila Prabhupada describes the nature of demigod worship. The demigods are the universal managers of the functions. And in that sense, demigod worship is recommended in Vedas. But Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita that primarily people worship the demigods for material benedictions. But Krishna is like the root of the tree of creation. The demigods are the leaves and branches and flowers. If we offer sacrifice to Krishna, who is the root of all of existence, and demigods are satisfied. But Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita that bhakti, which is the goal of all forms of religion and yoga, is the path of offering our devotion. Samsiddhir haditoshana. We are giving our lives, our intelligence, our words, our abilities, our resources in the service of Krishna. So Krishna told Nanda Maharaj, the cows, the Brahmins, and Govardhan Hill are immediately supplying everything to us. We should simply worship them. His false ego. He felt himself being minimized. Because Krishna was so expertly playing the part of a 7-year-old little cowherd boy, no one in Vrindavan suspected actually that he was the supreme absolute truth. He was God, the source of the all-pervading Brahman, the source of the localized Paramatma in everyone's heart, the source of all the avatars, the source of Narayan, with all of his opulences, is playing with his friends in Vrindavan, apparently helplessly dependent on the parental kindness of his mother and father. And he played the role so wonderful that even the demigods, they prayed to Krishna when he was in the womb of Devaki. They knew he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he played this role of a cowherd boy in such a bewitching, heart-melting, intimate way that sometimes even the demigods, they just thought he was a small child. They forgot that he was God. Indra was infuriated. The nature of the ego is serious frustration when we do not receive what we expect. We feel entitled. And the nature of the world is, the more you do receive what you expect, the more your feeling of entitlement is fulfilled, the more painful and frustrating it is when it is not. And that is inevitable. So Indra was expecting. Imagine, so many places they're doing Indra Puja. This one place in this village of Vrindavan, they decided not to do it that year. And he was so disturbed. This is the nature of the ego too. However many things go our way, we have a tendency to mentally focus on anything that doesn't go our way. Have any of you ever had that experience? Haribol. It's like if it's a beautiful day out and we're in really good health and everybody seems to like us. And we step on a thorn and it pierces right through our foot. How much are you thinking, all my fingers are happy? And I could see nicely. And there's nice fragrant roses all around me to smell. Oh, we're obsessed with that. What's the size of that piercing of a thorn in one's? It's just a tiny speck of our body. But still we focus. Because in the material world, pain is often more intense than pleasure. Indra lost control of his mind. And yet he thought that he was doing justice. He sent the clouds that were meant for the destruction of the whole world at the time of the dissolution to destroy Vrindavan. The types of clouds, Bhagavatam describes it wasn't raining drops, it was raining pillars. The winds were getting more and more severe. And in this situation, the cows were worried for their calf. The Brijabasis were worried for each other. And although ordinarily Krishna was simply their friend, their child, their lover, they approached Krishna as their only shelter. The Brijabasis said, your cows are really suffering, and so are we. Krishna smiled and walked to where Govardhan Hill was, lifted it, and held it up over his head with the smallest finger of his left hand, and invited all the residents of Vrindavan, everyone. He didn't have to make any selection who was fit or who was not fit. Everyone just come. Because you all pleased Giriraj, Govardhan, so nicely by your offerings and by your pujas. Now he's become an umbrella to protect us. Kavi Karnapur in Ananda Vrindavan Champu goes into a lot of details describing the wonderful festival of 7 days under Govardhan Hill. Ordinarily, Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj were with Krishna in the early mornings and in the evenings and nights, but then through the day Krishna was with the Gopas herding cows. And the cowherd boys, they were with Krishna throughout the whole day, but then they were in deep separation from him throughout the night. And the young gopis, They were always longing to be with Krishna. They describe that Brahma is a very foolish creator because he put eyelids on our eyes. And he only gave us 2 eyes. Krishna is so beautiful, so wonderful. We desire tens and millions of eyes to drink in that beauty. And because of eyelids, they blink. That blinking, one blink, it felt like a yuga. Srila Prabhupada, to give us an understanding, a blink of the eye was like 12 years or more. But gopis are saying a yuga. But now, for this 7 days, everyone is with Krishna, gazing upon him and feeling Krishna's gaze upon them continuously for 7 days. A wonderful, wonderful festival of love. And Krishna was, through his glance and through his smiles, he was entering into the inner core of the heart of all the residents of Vrindavan to reciprocate perfectly with the nature of their love. That is the Govardhan Leela. And ultimately, after Indra was sending thunderbolts, massive rainstorms, destructive winds, he could not remove a single leaf from any of the thousands of trees on Govardhan Hill. He couldn't uproot a single blade of grass because Giriraj was feeling the ecstatic reciprocation of Krishna by being touched by his finger. And he felt the thunderbolts to be like caresses. And he felt the rains to be like an abhishekam. Seeing this, Indra ultimately was completely exhausted. All of his army of clouds and everyone, they just ran away in defeat. And Indra was conquered. Krishna placed Govardhan Hill down. Well, first he told everyone, now the sun is out, everything is auspicious, go return to your homes. Nobody wanted to leave. But for Krishna's pleasure, they all went back to their homes. And the next day, Indra, or after some days, he came and surrendered to Krishna at Surabhi Kunj. Similarly, Lord Brahma, he was bewildered by Krishna's intimate, loving pastimes as a small cowherd boy. He was just a child. And yet, Brahma saw all the other demigods were glorifying Krishna for killing the great Aghasura. So Brahma wanted to test, who is this Krishna? And we know the beautiful pastime where he stole all of Krishna's calves and all of his Gopa friends. And when Krishna saw this, he manifested exact replica forms of each calf and each friend. And they all went back home to the community of Braj. And similarly, this is quite a serious matter. The children of all the Brijvasis, and there were countless little cowherd boys, they were all kidnapped. And Brahma kept them for 1 year. Imagine being a parent and your child is kidnapped for 1 year. Not only your child, but everyone's children, except Krishna. But Krishna turned that situation into the most beautiful fulfillment of everyone's desires. In Govardhan Puja, everyone wanted to be with Krishna constantly, so Krishna fulfilled that wish. For this 1 year, all the cows in their motherly love, they loved Krishna more than their calves. All the elderly gopis loved Krishna more than their own children. And they had the deepest, most profound love for their children and their calves. There was no envy in their hearts. Because all the gopis loved Krishna like more than their own children, and all the elder gopas loved him more than their own children. They had that much more love and respect and honor for Nanda and Yashoda. In the material sense, when somebody has something you really want, you either become jealous or envious or depressed. But when Krishna's in the center, they felt the greatest happiness for Yashoda and Nanda. And they wanted to assist them in every way. All the elder gopas and gopis in all of Vrindavan, their greatest excitement was in assisting Nanda and Yashoda to make Krishna happy. But for this 1 year, under this very, very difficult circumstance where all their children were kidnapped by Brahma, Krishna fulfilled their desires by becoming their children. And for that whole year, not a single gopa or gopi suspected that this is not my child. Not a single cow or bull suspected that this is not my calf. But somehow or other, they infinitely loved their children more than ever before. Exactly the same way they loved Krishna. But they could be Krishna's mother and father. Similar to Indra, Brahma came down after 1 year to see how everything was transpiring. And he saw Krishna with all his friends and calves. I have them all. I put them in a mystic slumber. He looked. The calves were still, along with the little cowherd boys, sleeping. And then he turned his heads and he saw that they were all playing with Krishna. And he became so bewildered. At one point, he looked at one cowherd boy, and the cowherd boy said, "Brahma, to me, you are less significant than one of my goats." This is Brahma, the father of all living beings in the universe. And when Krishna wants to humble someone, there's no limits. Suddenly, every one of the calves and cowherd boys, and it was limitless, they all became Narayan, the supreme absolute personality of Godhead. And around each one of these Narayans was demigods and rishis and sages doing puja for them. And this really bewildered Brahma, to the extent that he practically completely lost consciousness, and then everything disappeared, and all that was left was Gopal, Krishna, who was still holding that little yogurt and rice and fruit salad in his hand from 1 year before, and an innocent little boy searching for his calves and friends. At that moment, Brahma fell unconscious. In astonishment and in ecstasy. And when he came back in consciousness, understanding who Krishna was, the supreme absolute truth, understanding that whatever creative powers he has was just an insignificant portion of Krishna's powers that was entrusted to him. And more astonishing than any of this, that Krishna is the supreme Bhagavan, the all-powerful God of all gods. He was in his most beautiful, playful Leela of a simple cowherd boy. Brahma was thinking that Vrindavan is a beautiful place. But after he surrendered completely to Krishna, then Krishna revealed to him the true glories of Vrindavan, where every particle of dust was Chintamani, every tree was a Kalpabriksha, every cow is Surabhi. The gopis were the supreme goddesses of fortune. And Krishna's supreme all-attractive form and the sweet song of his flute was the heart of everyone's lives. He surrendered to Krishna and offered wonderful prayers. Our scriptures tell us that after having this wonderful darshan, Brahma was feeling how unfortunate he was to be a creator. Even though he surrendered to Krishna and saw the spiritual world, he did not have the opportunity to exchange the rasas of the gopas or the gopis or any of the residents of Vrindavan. And he was feeling himself unfortunate. And due to the false pride of being the greatest of all the demigods, of all living entities born in this universe, he was not given the simplest form of the sweetness of the love between Krishna and the residents of Braj. Brahma knows that in the Kali Yuga, Krishna incarnates in Navadvip. So Brahma came to Navadvip and performed tapasya, offering prayers and all sorts of other fasting and tapasyas. He was absorbed in meditation, praying for the humility to be a companion of Krishna and Krishna's pastimes. It was here in Mayapur Dham, Mayapur, that Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu appeared before Brahma. Brahma surrendered, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu placed his lotus foot on Brahma's head. Lord Chaitanya, he asked Brahma if there was any benediction he desired. I'd like to read from Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Sri Navadvip Dham Mahatmya. When Brahma opened his eyes, he saw Gauranga and fell to the earth unconscious. The Lord put his foot on Brahma's head, and Brahma was enlightened and prayed. This is Lord Brahma praying in the presence of Lord Gauranga. I am a low and worthless wretch, controlled by pride. Forgetting your lotus feet, I have turned to material sense gratification. And then he describes how he and Lord Shiva and Indra were all the subjugated eternal servants of the Lord. Brahma proclaims, half of my life has been wasted in illusion. I pray that I may become your associate when you manifest your pastimes. Having given up the illusion that I am the creator, I want to take birth in your association and sing your glories. Hearing Brahma's prayers, Lord Gauranga benedicted him by saying, so be it. When my pastimes become visible on earth, you will take birth in a Yavana family. Your name will be Haridas Thakur. And you will become famous for your humility and completely free of all pride. You will chant 300,000 names a day. And when you pass from this world, you will be seeing me. And at the end of the second 100 trillion years of your life, you will attain Navadvip Dham and be absorbed in eternal rasa. Brahma, hear these antara, secret words, but do not reveal this openly in the scriptures. Taking the role of a devotee, I will taste the nectar of bhakti rasa and propagate the most rare process of sankirtan. I will make the devotees of all the previous avatars drunk with the nectar of Vrindavan. The love that Sri Radhika possesses is beyond my experience. So I will appear with her sentiments and complexion, taking the position of Sri Radha. I will taste that happiness that only Radha obtains in serving me. From today, act as my disciple, and in the form of Haridas, always serve me. Saying this, Gauranga became invisible, and Brahma fell to the ground unconscious. At the end of the Dwapar Yuga, after Krishna completed his pastimes in this world, Kaviraj Goswami describes that Krishna was thinking, how deep is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita? In Bhagavad Gita, we hear Krishna's words. In Srimad Bhagavatam, we hear about Krishna's most intimate, loving pastimes, his actions. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we are given entrance into Krishna's most intimate, confidential thoughts. Krishna was thinking, I appear in so many incarnations in this world. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata bhutanama dharmasya tadatmaram srijamya. Again and again and again, Krishna comes. He appeared as Matsya and Kurma, Varaha, Hayagriva, Narasimhadev, Vamanadev, Parasaram. He appeared as Ramchandra. So many different avatars. And he kills demons. And he delivers liberation to his devotees and attracts to his loving pastimes. But only when Krishna appears in his original form in Vrindavan does he fully bestow the rasas of Vrindavan. Krishna's thinking, Yashoda Maya doesn't see me as God. In her motherly love, she thinks that I am completely helpless and dependent on her. And her love is so powerful that I am thinking that I am completely helpless and dependent on her. That is the rasa of Vrindavan. Yashoda Mai binds me with a rope And the Gopas, the cowherd boys, my friends, they love me as their friend. Sometimes we wrestle together. And sometimes I am defeated. And the cowherd boys boast, I have defeated Krishna. And they are feeling, and Krishna's feeling defeated. And gopis, Krishna is so deep that sometimes they chastise him. Raghunath Das Goswami describes that more than all the hymns of the Vedic literatures and the greatest, most liberated Brahmins chanting these hymns, even in the spiritual world of Vaikuntha, Krishna does not derive as much pleasure from that as when the old ladies of Vrindavan chastise him with harsh words. That is the love of Vrindavan. In Vaikuntha, the love is pure. And how beyond anything that we can realize at this moment, what is the love of Vaikuntha and the goddesses of fortune? Infinitely beyond liberation. But Krishna describes that such love is crippled by awe and veneration. I will appear on the earth to teach the Dasyaras, Sakyaras, Vatsalyaras, and Madhuryaras of Vrindavan. And at the same time, I will come as the Yuga Avatar to establish the process by which we can achieve that love of God through the chanting of the holy names. Krishna was meditating. I will make a garland by weaving together the holy names of Krishna with prema bhakti, pure ecstatic love. And with this garland, I will place upon the entire world. I will come in the role of a devotee to teach by my personal example how to achieve pure, unmotivated, uninterrupted love for God through the congregational chanting of the holy names. Kaviraj Goswami describes the internal reasons for Krishna's coming as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna knows everything. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells, I know everything past, present, and future. I know every living being. And Krishna never forgets. As the Paramatma in our hearts, Krishna knows every thought that has ever came into your mind in every birth you've ever taken. What computer can do that? What is this AI, this artificial intelligence? People are discussing it so much. Well, the supreme absolute truth intelligence. Krishna remembers every act you've ever done, every thought you've ever done, every word you've ever spoken, and he's seeing it all now and he's experiencing it. And he knows everything in the future. And yet in his facilitation of divine love, he knows everything in the future, but he does not interfere with our futures. He gives us free will. That is his inconceivable opulence. But in Vrindavan, in Goloka, in the section of Goloka of Braj Bhumi, Braj Dham, where Krishna is performing his Leela with Sri Radha and Gopas and Gopis, Krishna's feeling. There's one thing I do not know. I cannot know. The glory of Srimati Radharani's love. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami goes into beautiful detail, and I'm only going to say a few words. Describing the gopis' love. Everything is only for Krishna. He describes the difference between lust and love. Lust is a desire for pleasure for one's own mind and senses. But true love is the desire to offer pleasure to Krishna. And of all the pure devotees of Vaikuntha, and all the great devotees in the Mayapur Dham of Vrindavan, everyone is simply offering everything. Their only desire in life forever is Krishna's pleasure. And Srila Prabhupada describes in his purport to Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's description that in Santaras, Dasyaras, Sakyaras, Vatsalyaras, as a servant, as a friend, in parental love, everyone's love is absolute in Vrindavan, and everyone's love is perfect, and everyone's love is completely satisfying. And in this sense, even the peacocks and the cows and the trees, everyone is fully satisfied. Nobody wants anything more. They only want Krishna's pleasure. And they're in the particular form that they are to assist all other residents of Vrindavan in Krishna's pleasure. And that is Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada describes on this absolute platform, there's no higher and lower. But still, the love of gopis, the Madhurya Ras, includes in full every other form and expression of pure unmotivated love. The gopis were praised by Krishna at the time of the Rasa Lila, Kaviraj Goswami quotes the Gita, Ye yatamam prapadyante, that Krishna reciprocates according to how we surrender to him. But Krishna tells gopis, you have surrendered everything without the slightest desire for your own satisfaction, safety, reputation. And Krishna in the heart, seeing the fullest, most complete and absolute surrender of gopis, Krishna declares, in an entire lifetime of Brahma, with everything I have, I can never repay you. So please be satisfied with your own loving devotion. Krishna is not just saying, he is feeling, conquered by the love of each of these gopis. And of all gopis, the supreme perfection of the highest, most complete love is Srimati Radharani. Sri Radha is the predominated love, beloved. And the predominated lover, and Krishna is the predominating beloved, the Ashray and Vishai. Srimati Radharani and gopis, they want nothing for themselves. They only want to give me happiness. But the inconceivable truth, in their total detachment, they experience more love and more happiness than Krishna. In this world, we are all seeking pleasure. In the spiritual world, when you want no pleasure for yourself and you want all pleasure for Krishna, Krishna gives you the pleasure. Srimati Radharani, Chaitanya Charitamrita describes, when she's trying to serve Krishna and her eyes fill with tears due to ecstatic love, she's praying for the tears to go away and her ecstasies to go away because they're interfering with her pleasing Krishna. The material formula is the more you want, the more you get. But the spiritual formula is the less you want for yourself, the more you could give of yourself to Krishna. And to the same extent, there will be happiness. Because our happiness is Krishna's happiness. And Krishna's declaring, although the gopis don't want anything for happiness, they're willing to suffer for me, they experience 10 million times more happiness than me. And I'm Rasa Bihari, Rasaraj. I'm the supreme attractor. I'm the supreme reservoir of all pleasure, Rama. But yet gopis, they experience 10 million times more happiness than I can. And what is it about me? Desiring to understand the glories of Radha's love, the qualities in himself that she alone relishes through her love. And the happiness she feels when she realizes his love. The Supreme Lord Hari, richly endowed with her emotions, appears in the womb of Sachi Devi like the moon appears from the ocean. Krishna decided, I will appear, Radha Bhavaduti Suvalitam Nomi Krishna Swarupam, with the Mahabhav of Sri Radha's love, so that I can personally experience the nature of her love. I will appear with her resplendent complexion of golden luster. And I will come at the time of the Yuga Avatar to spread pure love of God through the chanting of the holy names. At Prayagraj, Srila Rupa Goswami composed the beautiful verse, Namo Mahabharanyaya, Krishna Prema Pradayate, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya, Namane Gaurat Vishnu. There are many avatars of God. And in so many avatars of God, God is spreading pure love of God and giving pure love of God. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most munificent and merciful of all avatars. Because he's not just giving love of God. He's not just giving liberation from the sorrows of material existence. Krishna is coming with the love and the compassion of Srimati Radharani to give the love of Vrindavan. This is so rare and so special. Beyond all of the other avatars. And he's coming in the Kali Yuga, where people are the least qualified. He's giving this love without consideration of who is fit or who is unfit, which place, which time, which situation is fit or unfit. In Satya Yuga, one had to be fixed in total absorption of the samadhi of meditation for 60,000 years to achieve love of God. In Treta Yuga, one had to perfectly execute yajnas. In Dwapar Yuga, perfectly followed the Narada Pancharatra of deity worship. Impossible for people of Kali Yuga to do any of these things. The Srimad Bhagavatam describes the great sages who are supremely compassionate to all living beings. They worship Kali Yuga as the best time. But it's a time of the greatest suffering, the time of the greatest quarrel and hypocrisy. It's the age of irreligion. Because in this age of Kali, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes once in a day of Brahma with the mood and the complexion of his supreme devotee, Srimati Radharani, in the role of a devotee, to give the highest, most intimate love through this simple process of devotional service. In the association of devotees, to hear the glories and teachings of the Lords and to chant the holy names of the Lord. With this desire to descend into the material world, the Lord first sent his eternal loving servants from the spiritual world ahead of him to prepare. A kalpa vriksha tree from Goloka Vrindavan descended as Srila Madhavendra Puri. Ishwara Puri, the leading disciple of Madhavendra Puri, took birth in this world. Paramananda Puri in Trihuta. Pundarik Vidyanidhi in Chattagram. Nityananda Prabhu in Ekachakra. Pundarik Vidyanidhi is Prishabhanu, Srimati Radharani's father. Nityananda Prabhu is Balaram. He sent Hanuman in the form of Murari Gupta. He was born in Sylhet, now Bangladesh. Same area where Upendra Mishra, the son of Madhukara Mishra, and Upendra Mishra, I believe he had 7 sons, and one was Jagannath Mishra. And Advaitacharya appeared. Srivas Thakur and his brothers, Sri Ram, Sri Pati, Sri Nidhi. Srivas Thakur is Narada Muni. Sri Ram is Parvat Muni. Advaitacharya is simultaneously Sadashiva and Mahavishnu. They all appeared in various parts of the world to assist Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Advaitacharya was primarily living in Navadvip at the time, as was Srivas. They had come from that Sylhet area. Seeing the condition of the people of Navadvip, seeing the condition of the people of the world, and Advaitacharya, being Mahavishnu, he sees everything. What can we see? And what is the effect that we have on what we see? Mahavishnu He manifests all the universes from his body. And then with one glance, he impregnates the entire universe with limitless living entities. And simply by his glance, he activates the three modes of material nature through time. And Sadashiva from the spiritual world, his expansion within this world is the destroyer of universes. But the most important aspect of Lord Shiva, Vaishnavanam Yathashambhu, is he's the greatest Vaishnav. Why? Because of his compassion. A simple drop from the ocean of Shiva's compassion is expressed when he was willing to drink an entire ocean of poison so that we could all be safe and happy. And in that section of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is described the greatest service one can render to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is to accept inconveniences and difficulties for the well-being of others. And the ultimate well-being of others is to liberate the soul from the illusions of the false ego and all of its complementary sufferings, and to awaken love for Krishna through the chanting of Krishna's holy names. Navadvip was a very prosperous town at that time. It was the high seat of learning for the whole world. The greatest scholars were coming to study scriptures in Navadvip. And there was so much enthusiasm and so much prosperity and so much pride. But any pride that is disconnected from the spirit of recognizing Krishna as the supreme proprietor of everything that exists. This preliminary information is given in Bhagavad Gita. I am the intelligence of the intelligent. I am everyone's abilities. I am everyone's strength. And everything that exists belongs to me. When we always realize that Krishna is the supreme, all-attractive object of everyone's love. To the degree we find happiness in glorifying Krishna, we are liberated from the frustrations of the ego. In bhakti, we don't try to destroy the ego. We want to purify the ego. False ego is I am this body, and what is in relation to body is mine. Real ego is Jivera Swarupoi Krishnara Nityadas. I'm an eternal servant of Krishna. And what is mine? The eternal opportunity to please Krishna. Samsadir Haritoshan. So we are proud of our temples, of our ISKCON, of our communities, because they are places where we are all unified, at least striving to be unified for Krishna's pleasure. Knowing we are completely dependent on Krishna. But when that Krishna consciousness is absent, we have to find pride somewhere. So we're proud of my abilities, proud of my intelligence, proud of what I've done or what I will do, proud of my community, my caste, my sex, my nation, my whatever. It is all ahankar. Navadvip, people were really proud. We have the best city. We're the best scholars. There's so much piety here. There's so many yajnas being performed here. Everything is so wonderful here. But Advaitacharya and the devotees, just a small community of devotees lived here among a huge population. They were crying. Their hearts were in deep pain because they could see that whatever apparent happiness people had, janma mrityu jara vyadi, dukkha doshana darshanam, it will all end in suffering. Everything is temporary. And even this so-called happiness is distracting and depriving people of the happiness of the soul of loving Krishna. For a conditioned soul or a neophyte devotee, it's actually very inconceivable to understand what is the compassion of a pure devotee. Because somehow or other we may theoretically understand things from a broader perspective. Still, we're confined by our limited perceptions to a large extent. Faith can bring us beyond. But that faith doesn't give us the realization itself. It just gives us the confidence to be willing to surrender, to be willing to follow the process of bhakti so that we can be given that realization. Advaitacharya is tasting the supreme bliss of ecstatic love. Srivas Thakur is Narada Muni. He's tasting the supreme bliss of ecstatic love. When you have that, and you see that every living entity is a child of Krishna. Every living entity is a part and parcel of Krishna. Every living entity is my family. Every living entity is loved by Krishna. Then if somebody doesn't have that ecstatic love, even if they're liberated from all the sufferings of material existence, you cry for them. Because in relationship to the reality of a pure devotee, mukti is a sorrowful situation. What to speak of the temporary pleasures and pains of this world? They were crying and weeping to see the condition of people. And there was so much pride in the apparent religion of Navadvip. People worshiping various demigods and doing various pujas and were getting so much wealth by doing it, so much fame. They were seeking the pleasure that the soul is seeking in loving service to Krishna in all the various things of this world, and they were totally distracted. And they were thinking devotees were quite useless because they didn't care about all these things that were so important to them. Srivas and his brothers at the Srivasangam, they were performing kirtan. And much of their kirtan was crying out for Krishna to appear to save these people. And yet, the people of Navadvip, many of them, they were insulting and blaspheming Srivas and the devotees. They are useless. What is this loud chanting? Where does it say this in the scriptures? We are Brahmins. Who are they to tell us? They believed in God. Some of them would say that Vishnu is sleeping. He's in his yoga nidra. And this loud chanting, if it awakens them, Krishna will destroy the universe in anger. That is how they interpreted Sankirtan. So we should tie up this Srivas and we should give him to the Yavana kings before they come and punish us. We should break his house to pieces and throw it in the Ganges. Advaitacharya and Srivas, for these people also, they were crying for Krishna to come to deliver. Advaitacharya was not only seeing the illusion, the ignorance, and the miseries of Navadvip and the world at that time, but he was seeing it to the future. He could see all the wars. He could see the global warming and the effects that it may have. He was seeing the exploitation in the pursuit of happiness. People commit so much pain and suffering and misery to each other. Not knowing that will only karmically accelerate the suffering. Paradukkha dukkhi. A devotee feels the happiness of another to be their own happiness, and the suffering to be their own suffering. This is the quality of a true Vaishnava. And in all the world at that time, 500 years ago, the leader and the supreme of all Vaishnavas was Advaitacharya. He was the head of the whole Brahmin community among Vaishnavas. And along with the devotees, every day all the devotees would gather here in Navadvip at Advaitacharya's house to relish being with one another, discussing the topics of Krishna's teachings and pastimes, praying for Krishna to descend to this world to help the conditioned souls. And together they would chant the holy names of the Lord.
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna
all the avatars that we read about in scriptures are considered to be incarnations of Lord Narayan, Vishnu. Advaitacharya is Karunadakshay Vishnu. He's the Vishnu who other Vishnus incarnate from. And beyond. The avatars of the world are incarnations of Advaitacharya. Why doesn't he deliver them? Because Advaitacharya's compassion and understanding the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and why he was sent to this world. He didn't want to just give people liberation. He did not just want to give people love of God. He wanted to give people the love of God of Vrindavan. And this type of love of God, no other incarnation except Krishna can give. So he was praying and crying and fasting and performing tapasya for Krishna to descend from Goloka Vrindavan to give Krishna consciousness. And he did this for years. He could not bear to see the world today. He wanted Krishna to come to save us. In his prayers and in his tapasya, he remembered a verse which describes Krishna's mercy. If someone with sincere devotion offers tulsi leaf, tulsi manjari, with water to Krishna, Krishna will feel conquered by that offering and fulfill that devotee's desires. How simple. Advaitacharya is the greatest of scholars. He was very prosperous in every way. But on the bank of Mother Ganga, he worshipped his Shalagram Shila, offering the flowers and the leaves of the tulsi and Mother Ganga's sacred water, while tears poured from his eyes out of love for Krishna. And the expression of love for Krishna in this world is compassion for all beings. And as he was crying, he was loudly calling out Krishna's holy names. So simple. That is the power of bhakti. Even through the medium of a leaf and some water, something anyone, anywhere could get. If it's offered with love and devotion, Krishna gives in return himself. At that time, Jagannath, there was Upendra Mishra, his son was Jagannath Mishra. He came to live on the bank of the Ganga in Mayapur. And here he married the daughter of the great Brahmin, great Vaishnav, Nilambar Chakravarti. Her name was Sachi Devi. They were incarnations of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai. And being the supreme origin of Vatsalya Rasa, or parental love, their expansions are Vasudev Devaki, Kashyapa Aditi, Dasarat, Kausalya. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita describes in Krishna's meditation, he would send these devotees, his eternal associates from the spiritual world of Goloka and Vaikuntha, and even the devotees of other avatars, he would intoxicate them with the love of Vrindavan. That is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But a special feature is none of these devotees knew who they actually were. And they didn't know who each other was. It's not that Srivas knew that Murari Gupta was Hanuman. And Srivas didn't know he was Narada Muni. They all came in the role of devotees, and they were all so deeply engrossed in the ecstatic, loving service to Lord Chaitanya and Lord Chaitanya's mission that was their identity. Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata, who resided just a few minutes' walk from where we're sitting today. They gave birth to 8 daughters, and each one of them died just after their birth. For those of you who may be mothers and fathers, you can understand what experience that must have been. Hari Hari. Could everyone still hear? Hari Bol. Instead of being discouraged, their love for Krishna, their desire to serve Krishna, only increased. Such an example. They want to bring a child in the world to offer to Krishna and to teach how to love Krishna. And each one dies. Is that? But yet, their love and devotion continue to increase. They worship Krishna even more from their heart of hearts. And then they gave birth to Vishwarup, who was Lord Nityananda Prabhu himself. Nityananda Prabhu had already been born in Ekachakra And his direct loving expansion was Vishwarupa. We read in Srimad Bhagavatam, Devaki and Vasudev, they gave birth to 6 children. And each one of them were killed by Kamsa. But still, their love and devotion to the mission of Krishna was ever increasing. They represented the 6 anartas of lust, envy, anger, greed, arrogance, and illusion, which must be removed from the heart. And then Balaram appeared as the original spiritual master to make the womb of Devaki the most all-attractive, beautiful place. He prepared her womb with his love and devotion for Krishna to come. These 8 daughters represent the 8 coverings of material existence: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and the ego. And one must rise above these material designations, identifications, and attachments. And then Balaram appeared as Vishwarupa. He was all beautiful and filled with divine qualities. Then Kaviraj Goswami describes in the year of 1485, in the month of Magh, Jagannath Mishra had a vision. It was like a dream. He saw and experienced the effulgence of the spiritual abode enter his mind and then enter into his heart. And he witnessed the effulgent spiritual abode being transferred from his heart into the heart of Sachi Devi and then into her womb. And from this divine arrangement of the Lord, Sachi Mata became pregnant with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Jagannath Mishra proclaimed, Sachi Mata, you are filled with light, you are all beautiful, our home has become like the spiritual world. And wherever I go walking in the street, people give me gifts and offer me all honor and respect like never before. And Sachi Devi said, I see celestial people from the heavenly worlds in the sky offering obeisances and prayers to the child in my womb. Is Srila Jaipatak Maharaj here now? Yes? I think we should end here because Srila Jaipatak Swami Maharaj has come. We will continue tomorrow. Thank you very much. Let us welcome His Holiness Srila Chowpatty Swami Maharaj. We are all Hare Krishna. Srila Chowpatty Swami Maharaj has surrendered his body, mind, words, life, heart, love, and soul to assisting our beloved Srila Prabhupada in his great mission of making Sri Mayapur Dham a place where devotees from all over the world could come to receive Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda's supreme mercy. Srila Chowpatty Swami Maharaj, we owe you our deepest heartfelt gratitude, and we are indebted for your loving devotional service. And let us very loudly, with all of our hearts, welcome him. He has taken great efforts to give us his association this evening. Let us loudly chant Hari Bol.
Radha
Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale
Srimate Bhaktivedanta
Swami
Namaste Saraswati Devi
Gauravani Pracharine
Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Sri Advaita Gadadhara Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Rama Hare
Jayate Jilim
Satikaran Mande
Shri Gurum Dinatarinam
Parananda Madhavam Hari Om Tat Sat.
Om Tat Sat.
So you've been listening to the nectar Gopinath Puja from His Holiness Radha Swami.
So we have been listening to the nectar regarding Govardhan Puja from His Holiness Radhanath Swami.
And so I don't know if I have much more to say.
So I don't know, you have heard to him, I don't know whether do I have much more to say.
Our previous Acharya, Bhakti Saraswati Prabhupada,
So our previous Acharya, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada,
he has made a Govardhan Hill.
so he had made a Govardhan hill.
It's something which is there in our disciplic succession.
So this is something in our disciplic succession.
I think, I remember correctly, there's also a Govardhan in the ecovillage.
If I remember correctly, there is also Govardhan in Govardhan Eco Village in Bombay.
But in Bangladesh, in Mayapur Dham, we have a Govardhan.
In Bangladesh, in Mayapur Dham, we also have a Govardhan there.
I was thinking what to say regarding Govardhan from Chaitanya Charitamrita.
I was thinking what to say regarding Govardhan from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita.
And there was a time in Jagannath Puri when Lord Chaitanya was walking to the ocean to take his bath.
There was a time when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was walking to the ocean to take his bath in Jagannath Puri.
And we saw a big sand called the Chatak Parvat.
And he saw a big sand dune, which
Mountain which is known as Chatak Parvat.
And Lord Chaitanya thought it was Govardhan.
and Lord Chaitanya thought, this is Govardhan.
And he started running to it.
And he started running to it.
And when he almost reached it, many devotees tried to run after him.
And when he almost reached it, many devotees started running after him.
They couldn't keep up with Lord Chaitanya.
But they couldn't keep up with Lord Chaitanya.
Govinda was following Lord Chaitanya. He couldn't catch up.
Govinda was following Lord Chaitanya, but he couldn't catch up.
All of a sudden, Lord Chaitanya got stunned.
The followers of Lord Chaitanya got stuck.
He fell down.
And then he fell down.
And all pores of his body started oozing blood.
All the pores of his body started oozing blood.
And they got up.
Govinda caught up.
He sprinkled some water on Lord Chaitanya's
And
body.
he sprinkled some water on Lord Chaitanya's body.
And then he fed him with his Lord Chaitanya's cloth.
And then he fanned him with Lord Chaitanya's cloth.
So, and all the devotees got up.
So then all the devotees caught up.
They started loudly, Sala, situation of Lord Chaitanya, they're very distressed.
So some of them, seeing Lord Chaitanya's situation, were very distressed.
Blood coming from his pores.
Blood coming from his pores,
Tears flowing from his eyes.
tears flowing from his eyes,
Torrents of rain.
like torrents of rain.
So he started to chant very loud.
So they started to chant very loudly,
They chanted for a long time.
and they chanted for a long time.
And then Lord Chaitanya suddenly stood up
And Lord Chaitanya suddenly stood up
and he chanted, Haribol!
and he chanted, Haribol!
Haribol! Haribol! And all the devotees who were there, they also chanted, Haribol!
All the devotees.
But where am I?
And he asked, where am I?
How did I get here?
How did I get here?
Who brought me here?
Who brought me here?
I was in Vrindavan.
I was in Vrindavan.
I saw Radha and Krishna, many gopis,
And I saw Radha and Krishna and many gopis.
and the Govardhan hill.
And I saw the Govardhan hill.
And Radha and Krishna went into a cave in Govardhan.
And Radha and Krishna were inside a cave in Govardhan.
One of the gopis told me the big flowers, Radha and Krishna.
And one of the gopis told me to pick flowers for Radha and Krishna.
And I'm brought here.
And then I was brought here.
Where's Vrindavan?
Where's
Where's Govardhan?
Where is Vrindavan? Where is Govardhan?
He was like partially semi-conscious.
And he was like partial, semi-conscious.
He was very ecstatic.
He was very ecstatic.
And I went on the very party.
Pamananda Puri, Kesha Bharati,
He came
they came.
and he was brought more into external consciousness.
And then he was brought more to an external consciousness.
Why, how you come so far?
Why have you come so far?
Is that we want to come here to see you dance?
They said we came here to see you dance.
And they Lord Chaitanya felt embarrassed.
And then Lord Chaitanya felt embarrassed.
And he came to his external consciousness.
And then Lord Chaitanya came to his external consciousness.
Went back, bathed in the ocean, went back.
And then he went back.
And bathed in the ocean.
So, that was the last time in Chowpatty.
So that was a pastime. There was a pastime from Jagannath Puri of Chatak Parvat.
He thought it was Govardhan Hill.
Where he thought that it was Govardhan Hill.
So, when I was thinking how the colored men in the Mandaraj that we had just seen your son with a mountain for 7 days, one finger.
So the cowherd men, they came to Nanda Maharaj and told him that we just saw your son Krishna lift Govardhan mountain for 7 days on his small finger.
Who is he?
Who is he?
Tell us who he is.
Tell us, who is he?
And I'll tell you, Bhagavan, he came to our house, non-giving ceremony.
So he said, I will tell you, who is he? Garga Muni came to our house during the name-giving ceremony, and he told,
He said, your son appears in every age to the color.
and he said, your son appears in every age in a different color.
Satyuga, one color, Treta Yuga, another color.
Satya Yuga, a different color. Treta Yuga, a different color.
Dwapara Yuga, a dark blue color.
In Dwapara Yuga, dark blue color.
And once in a day of Brahma,
And once in a day of Brahma,
he comes a yellow color.
once in a day of Brahma, he comes in yellow color.
So, how fortunate are we?
So how fortunate are we?
500 years ago, Lord Chaitanya came. Only comes once in a day of Brahma.
So 500 years ago, Lord Chaitanya came and he comes only once in a day of Brahma.
Oh Ranga! Oh Ranga! Oh Ranga! Oh, once, day of Brahma, at the end of the day, the universal destruction.
So at the end of last day of Brahma, there was universal destruction.
1,000 Chaturyugas
1,000 Chaturyugas
in a day of Brahma.
in a day of Brahma.
Lord Chaitanya came here 500 years ago.
Lord Chaitanya came here 500 years ago.
And his purpose was to spread
One of his purpose was to spread
Harinam,
the Harinam Sankirtan.
Other than Krishna wanted to realize
Krishna also wanted to realize
the prema Radharani.
the prema of Srimati Radharani.
Radharani made Navadvip Dham.
And Srimati Radharani made this Navadvip Dham.
And Krishna came here. Radharani was playing on a flute.
And Krishna came here and Radharani was playing a flute.
He wanted, what is this? Playing on flute so beautifully.
And he was wondering, who is playing this flute so wonderfully?
So then he saw Navadvip Dham. And he said this Navadvip Dham is non-different from Vrindavan.
So then he saw this Navadvip Dham and he said this Navadvip Dham is non-different from Sri Vrindavan.
He said Vrindavan 1,000 times benefit for any devotional service. Here the same.
In Vrindavan, one gets 1,000 times the benefit of any devotional service. And here, it is the same.
What in Vrindavan, with any Vaishnava around, any offense, is 1,000 times more.
So if you're in Vrindavan and if you make an offense, say a Vaishnava Aparad or some other offense, there is 1,000 times the effect.
But here, offenses are not multiplied.
But here, the offenses are forgiven,
So,
not multiplied.
sorry, this is Navadvip is known as the Odarya Dham.
And therefore, Navadvip is known as an Audarya Dham.
It's more merciful.
It's more merciful.
Srila Jagannath Balaji in Vrindavan to Navadvip.
Sri Jagannath Babaji Maharaj, he came from Vrindavan to Navadvip,
And his Samadhi Mandir in the island for the city of Navadvip.
and his Samadhi Mandir is in the island of Koladvip or the city of Navadvip.
So, I don't know if you're really going to put it.
I don't know if the devotees go to Koladvip.
We call him Siddha Jagannath Balaji.
So we call him Siddha Jagannath Das Babaji.
He realized Radha and Krishna had his Siddha Swarup and here in Navadvip.
So he realized Radha and Krishna and his own Siddha Sarup in here in Navadvip Dham.
I told last night, I don't know if anybody heard it,
I told last night, maybe if you heard it or not,
download Mayapur app.
you could download Mayapur app
If you have a smartphone,
if you have a smartphone.
Google Play Store or Apple Play Store.
It's both in Google Play Store and Apple Store.
I paid for it for you.
I paid for the app for you.
I will
Haribo.
and the app has Mayapur ISKCON,
In the app there is Mayapur ISKCON,
also the real virtual or the app later in virtual.
and it also has a virtual parikrama of Navadvip, or you could look up the app while you're doing the parikrama.
So, Lord Chaitanya was experiencing Govardhan personally.
So Lord Chaitanya was experiencing Govardhan Leela personally.
And the devotees brought him back by chanting Hare Krishna loudly.
And devotees brought him back by chanting Hare Krishna loudly.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. He was brought back to Chowpatty, and he was feeling very sad.
And he was brought back to Jagannath Puri and he was feeling very sad.
Because his experience of Govardhan was broken.
Because his experience of Govardhan was broken.
So, Govardhan Beach is also known as the island for which one gets forgiven for offenses.
So Koladvip is known as an island where one gets forgiven for making any offenses.
Alvarad Banjan Koladvip.
Aparada Bhanjan Koladvip.
When you go to Koladvip, pay there to forgive the offense.
So when people go to Koladvip, they pay their obeisances and they're forgiven for their offenses.
If anyone has offended you, forgive them also.
And if anyone has offended you, you forgive them also.
I heard you different islands.
I heard you're all going to different islands.
Lord Chaitanya's ecstasy, his pastimes, one day are unlimited.
Lord Chaitanya's ecstasies, his pastimes are unlimited. In one day it's unlimited.
I talk about Kalamuni's prediction.
I was talking about Garga Muni's prediction.
He said that this boy, the son of Nanda Maharaj, he is very auspicious.
So he said this boy, the son of Nanda Maharaj, is very auspicious.
And he will protect you from all difficulties.
He will protect you from all difficulties.
And it's like that he's the power of Lakshmi Narayana.
And that is why he got the power of Lakshmi Narayan.
And it's hard to ask, how does he have the power of Narayana?
The coward man didn't ask, how did he get the power of Lakshmi Narayan?
But he's the source of Narayana.
But he is the source of Narayan. And they just heard it and were happy.
Hold on. Krishna went alone.
So in Govardhan, Krishna went alone.
And there was following Surabhi.
And Indra was
Following the Surabhi cow.
And has little eyes.
Indra has 1,000 eyes.
All the eyes,
and all the eyes were crying.
hey Lord Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya, forgive him.
And yet they were saying, please Lord Krishna, forgive me.
Krishna had said that in the day was devotee and very close to him.
And Krishna said, Indra, you are a devotee, you are very close to me.
He said, I don't want my devotees to be proud.
Krishna said, I don't want my devotees to feel proud.
So I have taught you a lesson.
So I have taught you a lesson
Make you humble.
to make you humble.
Please don't be proud again.
Please don't feel proud again.
Back to your inner free and try that.
Go back to your Indrapuri and enjoy there.
Be humble.
And always be humble.
So, this is a description of all these sects of Gopal.
So all this is described in the book of Annavada.
Like this, there is a description of the Abhishek of Gopal
Chaitanya Charitamrita.
in the Chaitanya Charitamrita.
All different books. All different books.
And we quote many other different books.
In the range, Brahmadev, he arranged all these sects.
There, Lord Brahmadev, he arranged for an Abhishek.
And he told all the ladies, all the heavenly planets, all these sects first.
So he told the ladies of the heavenly planet to do the Abhishek first.
And the devas came, Gandharvas,
And then the Gandharvas came,
rubbed oil on the body of Govinda,
so they put oil on the body
did the Abhishek.
and they did the Abhishek.
Here in the holy Dham, Navadvip,
So here in the holy Dham of Navadvip,
and you all have the mercy of Lord Chaitanya.
you all are here in the holy Dham of Navadvip and you all have the mercy of Lord Chaitanya.
So here we're trying to build the TLVP,
So here we are trying to build the TOVP
and it's almost ready about to finish it 2 years.
So, and it's almost ready and we are about to finish it in 2 years.
I was like very last, but very good collection coming up.
So I was told by Brajavilas there's a very good collection coming up.
Last night, yesterday morning, I think you all attended the TLVP.
I hope you all attended the TOVP program.
And so, this side is all see white one.
So in this side I'm saying all white,
Except one or two,
except 1 or 2 saffron,
on this side, color.
and this side's all colored on the Mataji's side.
Here in Bengal, ladies do Haridwani and Uludwani.
Here in Bengal, the ladies they can do Haridwani and Uludwani,
Men can only do Haridwani.
but the man they can only do Haridwani. Haribol.
You do Haridwani, Haridwani,
Can you all do Haridwani?
ladies do Haridwani.
Can the ladies do Haridwani please?
Ladies here, the ladies, Western India, they know how to do Uludwani.
The ladies from Western India, they know, do the ladies from Western India know Uludhwani? Haribol!
Thank you very much.
So thank you very much.
So that it's time to do the Damodar Puja.
I was told that it's time for you all to do your Damodar Puja.
Here we see how Lord Chaitanya, he comes as a devotee.
You can see how Lord Chaitanya, he comes as a devotee.
Krishna wants to realize what is the love of Radharani.
Krishna wants to realize what's the love of Srimati Radharani.
He feels that the happiness she feels by being a devotee is a million times more than him.
He feels the happiness that she feels by being a devotee is 1,000,000 times more than him.
And he tries to understand it, but he can't do so.
So he tries to understand it and he can do so.
He has to to set the mood and color of Radharani.
So to do so, he has to accept the mood and color of Srimati Radharani.
But he only does that once in a day of Brahma.
But he only does that once in the day of Lord Brahma.
So, Lord Krishna and Brahma, Vaivardha
So Lord Krishna says in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana,
there'll be a 10,000 year golden age.
there will be a 10,000 year golden age.
And then people will be Krishna conscious.
Where people would be Krishna conscious.
So we need you to help me, because Brahma told me, gave me the order to expand the Krishna conscious.
So we need you to help me. Srila Prabhupada told me to expand Krishna consciousness all over the world. But I have limited capacity.
So you can all help me.
So you can all help me.
Help Radha Swami
Help His Holiness Radhanath Swami
to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world.
To
all
spread-
over, at least where you are.
So to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world, at least wherever you are.
So thank you very much.
So thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we will have dancing kirtan now. And after that we will have Damodar prayers.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatyate Satharine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Everyone please. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Everybody. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Haraye Nama Krishna. Hare Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama. Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana. Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohana. Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Sita. Adi Guru Vaishnava Bhagavad Gita. Sri Rupa Sanatana Pata Raghunatha. Sri Rupa Sanatana Pata Raghunatha. Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha. Hare Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Nitai Go Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Nitai Go Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Go Premanandi Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Thank you very much.
हारमोनियम पीछे है ना? वाइंड अप करना इसका ध्यान कैसा है?
श्री कार्तिक मास महामहोत्सव की श्री सत्यव्रत मुनि की नमः
Shri Shri Radha Damodar Bhagavan ki jai. Shri Damodar Ashtakam ki jai. Shri Satyavrat Muni ki jai. Shri Kartik Mas Mahamahotsav ki